Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting night of 10 Dead Rats.
That's us.
That's us. Everybody trying to fill in for Christian while he chews. We are unfortunately without Max tonight. He was unable to attend, but we will soldier on without him. And I'll come up with a lame excuse for why Bruno is missing. Because that's my lot in life. Okay. Other announcements? Do I have any? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I do. So, anybody got any exciting announcements for our viewers? No, all quiet. All right then, folks. Let's just get right into it. Let us begin tonight's exciting adventure of 10 Dead Rats.
That's my tardiness.
We're back.
Woo! Yay, tardiness.
Yay!
Everybody gets to hear about my bed.
That's exciting. That is exciting.
Ask me about my bed.
Tell us a little about your bed,
thanks.
Christian. Oh, sorry.
It is. I won't then.
Excellent. Last week on 10 Dead Rats, the party reconvened in Altdorf, of all places, and decided to go and look for leads to the Purple Hand. After a little bit of scouring about the town, they met a fellow named Herbert at a certain tavern that they only discovered towards the end was, in fact, none other than the Cracked Tankard, where they had formerly had an encounter with Drakilda. Based on Herbert's information, they eventually found their way towards the Lieberung estate, now in disrepair, clearly abandoned for some time. There they found hiding out in the dilapidated mansion none other than Drakilda herself. Got into a bit of a fight. Mina cleverly summoned a demon.
Genius.
Which I think was actually probably the more deadly part of the fight. Was fighting off the accidental demon. And the party then scoured the after dispatching of Drakilda, scoured the house, and specifically her nest that she had sort of made for herself. Apparently obsessed with Lieberung, with Castor Lieberung. She had gathered some information on the family from about the house. And the group discovered a book of genealogy on the family of Lieberung. And wedged amongst the pages was an old letter to Karl Lieberung from none other than the Archlumen, with interesting information about his mission in Middenheim and a few other surprises for the party. So I believe that's where we ended, with you guys hanging out in the Lieberung estate, looking over this material. I think did somebody? I think Christian. I think we gave you a personal ambition. Personal ambition resolved there. What was your personal ambition that we completed?
My personal ambition was to find out why the Purple Hand all look like me.
There you go. So there was some information there in that letter about some kind of family connection from the Lieberungs to the cult of Sigmar.
Very curious.
Which is interesting. Okay. Do you have a new personal ambition?
Not nailed down. I was thinking something along the lines of learn from the cult of Sigmar what this prophecy is all about.
Good.
Ooh.
But I don't have like a specific thing they want to learn about it.
Okay.
Maybe the origins of it or something like that. What it means specifically.
Okay.
Maybe what the wording of it was, or what they believe the prophecy to be. Something like that.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Think about
it. You could certainly. It doesn't have to be exact. You could certainly have a personal ambition of just learn more about the prophecy. As long as we're talking about personal ambitions, why don't I just go around the table and ask everybody else to remind me what theirs are? Starting with Mina. What's your current personal ambition?
I had, I was thinking of, I guess this might be a little bit, like, vague, but, like, maybe, I wanted to say, like, successfully make it into this, the Emperor's secret meeting without getting caught, but that feels like no way to prove that, and we will get caught. So maybe it's find out what's wrong with his son.
Ooh.
Find out what's wrong with the Emperor's son. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeffy?
So I have one, but I think it might be old because I don't know if it's anything that we could actually do, which is find Vossemeyer. And that was because I had set that back when we were not here.
Oh.
Before I went off with the vampires. But if Vossemeyer's here, then I can find him.
He did.
Otherwise,
he did abscond. Yep. Up
did,
to you.
but I don't
Up
know
to
if
you. If you still think that's important, or if you would rather trade it off for something different, you're very welcome to.
I thought about it. I mean, I was like, okay, well, the last I checked, we were after him, but maybe we're not after him anymore. There is, of course, and this one is, unfortunately, it's not really an ambition because it's not something that drives me, but if I see Frank, eat him.
Eat him. Eat Frank. Love
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Can I change my personal ambition to help Yeffy eat frog? Because that's incredible.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Like I
goodness.
said, it's an opportunist kind of thing.
Yeah.
You see him,
Yeah.
eat him.
Eat him.
If not,
Yeah. Okay. Keep that in mind. Party ambition, I believe, is still to infiltrate the Purple Hand.
Yes.
I think it was find the Archlumen, right?
I had to infiltrate the Purple
That's what I
Hand.
have.
Infiltrate
Then
the
just
Purple Hand is
kidding.
what I have written down. You could certainly change it to find the Archlumen if you want. That's up to you guys.
Oh, okay. Infiltrate it is. I also had it find the Archlumen, but I feel like those are basically the same thing.
We'll find out.
Okay. So we will pick it up from. It is now early evening at the Liebrung estate. You can be still hanging out about the Liebrung estate, or we can join the party as they are walking out the door. I don't know if you had more things to do there.
Well, this place kind of. I mean, no offense. I know, Indigo. I know it's like your house, but it kind of
Legally
sucks.
mine. Oh,
Here?
yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah. Maybe we could
It's
do.
real big.
It's big, but it's
real big.
definitely not been maintained. There's a bit of a stale smell, lots of cobwebs. It's a little drafty.
Yeah, maybe. Personal ambition is clean up your house.
I'm
Yeah.
just more thinking sell this house when we get the chance.
Oh, that's good
I don't know
too.
what I'd do with a mansion. But I do know what I would do with a mansion's worth of money.
Ooh, what would you do with a mansion's worth of money?
Did you buy a mansion?
Don't know.
Okay.
You may not have spent much time in the housing market, but it's actually very difficult to sell a crappy house and then use the proceeds to buy a nice one. It's a difficult thing.
Coming from your own personal experience. Well,
Don't ruin my dreams. Ghost voice from the heavens. Yeah, well, yeah, you could totally sell this place, explain the body and that guy who's still cowering in the corner, and you know, and be like, yeah, it's a good price. It's got ghosts.
It's a fixer-upper.
People do like ghosts.
Yeah.
People do like ghosts.
People
I mean,
like ghosts.
I didn't like them at first, but then I kind of got to like them when I kind of became one.
Yeah. You are a ghost, so.
Not really a ghost.
So,
Yeah, that's the argument Bruno made.
as you're discussing, and you point over to the fellow in the corner, none other than Herbert. If you recall, Bruno had charmed Herbert, and they were. You look over in the corner, and they're kind of Bruno and Herbert kind of bent heads close to each other, talking. And suddenly, Bruno jumps up and says, "What? You know Helmut Kolb? Take me to him at once!" And the two immediately march out of the room and onto the street.
Great.
Wow. If that weren't exactly what Max would do.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, he's got his priorities straight.
Mm-hmm.
So if we sell the house, we can split the proceeds between the three of us. Yes. The people who are here for the house.
This house.
I think it would kind of be nice to have a place in Aldorf, assuming we were ever allowed back in Aldorf
you want it?
again.
What?
No.
Why don't we just host
70,000 Carls.
8 Carls.
No. I have more than that in my pockets.
10 You're going to have
We can
more than
negotiate
what
the
I
price
have.
later.
Why don't we just host a swanky party in this house?
We could. That would be... Why?
Yeah. Maybe even then some more of the higher up in the Purple Hand might show up. And
We could host
like
a
some
party
Emperor's
for the
Council.
Purple Hand. That is a great idea. That's a really bad idea. That's a great idea.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't just trying to find a way to get some booze and some dessert in here.
No, it's good. We invite the Purple Hand, and if they come, then we also invite our friends, the Midden Marshals, who hate the Purple Hand because they tried to kill the Graf. And then we get the whole Purple Hand all at once.
Do you think they're all going to come to the party? How are we going to get
a controversial figure.
Well, maybe if we
Wouldn't
had...
go to a party. Like Castor.
It's a great... How will we get invitations out?
Pigeons.
Pigeons?
Pigeons.
Yeah,
That's how they did
need
it
Herbert
in the
for
other
that.
place.
We do need Herbert for that, and he's gone off for important plot reasons.
Oops.
I mean, it's cool that we killed this person who you guys had a big grudge against. But now how do we contact the rest of the Purple Hand was what I was going to say. But you know what I always say, if you got a corpse, you can ask them questions. I will work on that. I will.
Oh, we can ask Drakilda how to contact the Purple Hand.
She might not want to answer those questions because she hates you. Because she thinks you're that other guy. Even though you've told her several times while attacking her and cutting her that you weren't that guy. Which I don't understand why she couldn't understand to listen to you in that moment. But, you know, some people are difficult.
Irrational like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what are our next steps, really? Because, you know, Mina had a point about the invitations. Maybe the pigeons weren't going to work out.
Well, we still have that that other meeting tomorrow morning that I would very much like to go to. The Emperor's meeting, the Emperor's meeting with all of his most important trusted advisors, and we're not invited. But I will definitely do a better job of making us invisible this time. for sure.
Who is invited?
Well, the Graf was invited. And I'm
Just the
assuming...
Elector Counts.
Yeah.
So, doesn't Indigo have to go with the Graf?
I don't think he's invited. I think we asked if he was allowed to go.
Can he stand
keep saying-
outside?
I don't
No,
remember
the Graf
asking.
is staying.
Yeah.
We could
Maybe.
go ask him.
There you go.
Yeah, we could do that. And I feel like the Purple Hand are very invested in this meeting also, probably. They're certainly invested in something having to do with this meeting, given how much they've done. Although I guess, did they say that the Purple Hands moved on from Waldorf and there's less of them here?
Yeah, to Nuln.
To the paper place. Oh, so what's the meeting about?
I have no idea. They just
three.
called.
Like,
They just
year of
called
my
all the
life,
most
I have no
important
idea
people.
what's being done.
Oh, I've never have any idea what's happening, but they called all the most important people in the whole friggin' country to a meeting, and I want to know what they're possibly meeting about.
Wanna
We did
be in the
all of
room when
that.
it happens. Yeah.
Yes.
So, are there going to be wait staff there?
I don't know. I didn't do any. To be honest, I heard there was a meeting, and I was kind of like, we could go invisible.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That was-
But they probably have wizards who can, like, tell, right? No?
Oh. I hadn't even thought of
I
that.
don't know. Could be a great idea. I mean, invisibility so far has worked super well. So I think that, we could go with the invisible plan. My plan was to just do old-timey Yeffy heist and, like, get some wait staff garments on and serve some hors d'oeuvres, because important people always ignore the wait staff. And they have little private rooms behind all the real rooms that you get into, and then you get into trouble, and then you're like, did you hear what the Lady Duchess of Burgway said? And you're like, no, she's got the clap, and then that becomes a thing. And then you sell it on the market. Yeah. I'm really big into that kind of stuff, but invisibility also works.
Well, we could do your thing, and then if it feels like that's not working, we could go invisible.
Yeah, let's go meet some wait
Yeah.
staff. Where's this meeting happening?
The
Let's go
palace.
get some wait staff drunk.
Oh, great idea.
I could also ask the Graf what
What?
kind of event it'll be like, so then we could know a little bit more before we go getting people drunk.
There's always wait staff, though. Okay, fine, Indigo. That sounds like a smart idea.
Well, just to make sure, it's a political. I don't know if they're gonna have wait
Yeah,
staff
no.
when you
You-
elect a new emperor.
you go-
It's a morning
Go ahead,
meeting.
your
You're gonna
meeting.
have coffee.
Go have your meeting. Mina, you and I, let's scout that place out for the wait staff. I'm going to dress
Hell
up like
yeah.
a baker. Yeah, let's go buy some buns and deliver some buns nearby. Like, hey, this is where I thought these buns. This is the Manon cookie shop. Thought these buns were hot at the next meeting, but this is clearly not the door that we're supposed to deliver to them. Do you know Maud? I believe Maud was on staff tonight. And then she's all like, I don't know who Maud is. And then we just bop her.
Oh, Yaffe, I've missed you so much. I can't-
I've been here the whole time.
You were gone for a full friggin' week when we were traveling, and
Yeah.
I attempted to lie a little bit, and it was very bad, and you're so good at it.
What? They're not lies.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go be bakers.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Okay.
All right. Tell me exactly where you're headed. What are you doing?
Yeffy's gonna put some disguises together
Okay.
to look like bakers, and then we're gonna go down to a local bakery and buy some buns. I'm using
Excellent.
quotation marks with my hands, but really there are buns, and she's gonna buy them.
Okay.
And her and Mina are gonna make little makeshift, Manon cookie writing on the sides of the crates of the buns, and then we're gonna take them down to. You said the palace, right? You said that they're at the palace, so we're gonna go down to the palace.
Okay.
And scout it out, and then figure out if there's like a door that like the food goes into where they deliver the produce, and then for inspection. And we're gonna go down as bakers and be like, these are special from Mittenheim Bakery, Manon's cookies. And then I'm gonna bullshit for about 5 minutes straight in a monologue, Paul, like I do, and then I'll make a roll, and we'll see how much trouble we're in.
Fantastic. Where is Indigo during all this? Indigo.
I'm gonna go back to the inn and talk to somebody from Middenheim. The Graf if I can, and the General if not.
Okay. Excellent. So you go heading back. You split ways. Indigo, you head right back to the inn to go. The Graf is unfortunately busy. Seems to be having a lot of meetings with other Elector Counts. It seems like there's a bit of a buzz in the air as people all up and down the street are having little side conversations and a little politicking going on. Just give me a quick fellowship test there, Indigo. You can use your gossip.
14.
14. Excellent. The general buzz, and eventually you get to meet with the general. That is possible. So you can certainly go and talk to him. But the Graf is just far too busy. But the general buzz, the rumors floating around, are that the expectation is that the Emperor, who was called this meeting of the Elector Counts, will surely be abdicating to the Crown Prince Wolfgang. That's what they believe is going to happen.
That's some hot goss.
Yeah.
Goss.
Wow.
We're gonna get some hot goss too.
Meanwhile, Yuffie and Mina head down to the bakery and they buy some buns, which is easily enough done. I won't worry about that. You spend probably, I don't know. Do you want like crates of buns or like a couple boxes?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 crates of buns.
Yeah. So you're like both laden with boxes of buns. I'll charge you half a carl.
That's fine. I would like the red jam jelly filled buns if you got them.
Excellent. Yeah.
Of course you do.
As I do.
and some croissants.
And throw some croissants in there.
Just like a couple. I'm helping.
I bet we could go out back and get a crate of really bad buns they threw out the night before, and they wouldn't notice. We'll just put those on the bottom.
Oh.
Yuffie, you had
smart.
The two of you now dressed as bakers. You buy some aprons. You get some flour, and you kind of like get a little on you. You're carrying big crates of buns, and you head over to the palace to try and get into the servants' entrance and find out what you can. Roll me a fellowship test, Yuffie. And if you have any skills that maybe go with that, feel free to bring them to bear.
Disguise and suave.
Excellent. Either one will suffice.
Excellent.
I'll even give you +2 to the roll for having both. Let's do that. Plus your level, plus an extra 2.
Okay. That's a 20.
Excellent.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
These are good.
You said the 2. I was like,
fun.
oh, it's a 19. They're like, this is +2. I'm like, then that would be a 20, Paul. Yay.
Excellent. You're immediately believed. Your disguise is very, very believable. You look like bakers. You're led into the kitchens. It is very busy here. People are moving about. A lot's going on. You pick up a couple of pieces of information. One is that the meeting tomorrow will be at the Vauxhall, which is a large building separate from the palace in the center of town. It's very big. It is where it's where elections happen and any major statecraft happens. But the staff is very busy with preparations for that, and just generally, there's a lot of visits going on, a lot of people moving about the city right now, a lot of important dignitaries from afar are here, a lot of little side politicking is happening. You pick up all that, and it's very easy for you, you find, with just a couple of boxes and a little bit of flour splashed on your face, to pretty much make it anywhere. You feel like you could probably get into the back kitchens of the Vauxhall itself, but from what you hear described, there is a large central chamber where clearly the important people will be talking, and servants are not admitted to that chamber.
Mm-hmm. Now, what if the Graf needs his gluten-free Sons of Ulric pastry?
Then the Graf will send his personal servant to retrieve it, or he will just wait until he's able to leave the meeting itself.
His personal servant is going to be there.
Yes.
All of the personal servants.
You do get the impression
that
it is a grand hall. So beyond just the 15 Elector Counts, that each one will probably have a small entourage with them of trusted bodyguards, servants, etc.
Oh. And is the Knights Panther going to be going... We should find out.
You don't know because you're here at the palace, which is not where the Graf is staying. So you're not sure
That's a great point.
Where the Graf himself intends to go.
We also have access to the kitchens, right? So we can still make the buns.
You could certainly do stuff here in the kitchens of the palace itself. You think you feel like pretty easily could get into the kitchens of the Vauxhall.
Okay.
There is side chambers at that hall where after the big meeting, sometimes some of the dignitaries will stop for lunch or dinner, depending on the time of day.
What's the gossip here about what the meeting's going to be about? Is it the same as the gossip that Indigo heard?
Roll me a fellowship test, Mina. See if you can pick something up.
Oh, well, Mina's not great at that. Mina got a natural 1.
Excellent. Mina, you try to engage some of the servants about what might be happening at this, and you get all kinds of like wild speculation, all kinds of crazy stuff, and you quickly dismiss it as being utter nonsense. But just as they're just as you're having some of these conversations, somebody shouts, "Ooh, look at that!" and they all kind of rush to a window and peer out. Who's that? I don't know. You see this large procession making its way down the street just outside the palace of a large group of people marching. Some of them are holding banners. Many of them are dressed in furs, heavy furs, and you can see that as they pass by the window, one of them, the big banner, one of them is carrying unfurls behind him, and it has this emblem on it.
Oh.
Look, you hear one of the servants say, "They look like Ulricians to me." No, that can't be. I heard our Ulric is dead.
Oh.
He is dead. He died. I heard that too. So who could this person be, and how are they appointed so quickly? I fear that's foul play. He's trying to save your ass, Mina. Come on, get in on this.
Yeah. That seems. Yep.
Yeah.
What she said. I agree.
Foul play? You think our Ulric was murdered?
I hear. Yeah. Yes.
I heard he was just quite old. Oh, no. I heard he died in a great battle. Wasn't there? There's much strife between the Sigmarites and the Ulricians. I heard that there's been open fighting in the streets up in Midnight.
Oh, no. No. Well, we were. Mio looks to Yeffy for confirmation. We were in Midnight. There was no.
That's where
You were in
first
Midnight?
location
That's where our bakery is based.
originally,
And-
but it's a chain. It's doing very well.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, that isn't true. Wow, look at the time.
Wow! I've never
We
had
gotta
a
do
spell
the
back
rest
a
of
spell
our-
so fast.
Baking.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we
Flour.
do have to leave now.
You beat a hasty retreat from the kitchens of the palace. Meanwhile, back at the inn, Indigo, you are speaking to the General Johann Schwirmut. Yeah, Lydia. You love to be in the show now, Lydia. Lydia is like, I want a part on the show.
She can
She
play
heard a
Bruno.
dog had a part, and now
General
she's like,
Schwirmut.
come on in.
He looks a little frazzled, like he's been a little busy all day, but he finally stops to, Indigo, good, come and have a beer. He goes up to
that'd be
the
great.
bar and orders a couple beers.
Thanks.
It is very busy. There's much.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Many discussions. So much. What
Yeah.
what have you been up to?
Well, I've been, investigating this cult that we think was behind some of the things in Middenheim. They've apparently all left town, and they're in Nuln now. All of the surviving members are in Nuln. We did find a couple and had an altercation, but it's fine.
You think you will travel then to Nuln?
Probably eventually. Not right away. We were curious about the meetings that were happening starting tomorrow.
Yes, I have. It's unclear. All that is known is that that the Emperor has called all the Elector Counts to come, and most of them are here now. And some think he is going to abdicate, but I do not know if this is true or just rumor.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was wondering, as I know it was kind of a ceremonial position, but as the grass champion, who attends these meetings? Do I?
Oh no! Do not worry. It will take many hours and be very, very dull. You do not trust me. You do not want to go to these. It is not required of you at all. The Graf will go with his. I will go with him, act as his bodyguard, and he will have a servant, and that is enough.
Okay, none of the Knights Panther? You're not afraid of another attack?
I mean, the Knights Panzer will go to escort him to his Vauxhall, but they will not attend the meetings. They will just escort to and from.
Okay. Is it just going to be the one meeting, or is it several days? Do you have any idea?
I believe just. I mean, from what I hear, the Emperor is very weak. You know, he's not old, but he's not well of body, I think. So from what I hear, I don't think he is up for a long, many days kind of thing.
Okay.
But I do not
Well,
know.
I'll have to check in with my group, but I think we're going to stay around in Altdorf for at least a little while longer.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
in
Good.
case.
Good.
You know, we're
Well,
traveling up to Nuln.
let us maybe have dinner tomorrow night, and we can discuss whatever was revealed at this meeting. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Excellent.
Great. I don't have anything
Okay.
else to.
Excellent. So, as you convene your meeting with the general, Mina and Yeffy return to the inn, still in their baker's uniforms. Perhaps you've already dropped off the boxes of buns wherever it is you're. No, you're still carrying them, loading with boxes.
Keep
of buns.
at least one.
Okay. Okay.
Give them out to the children. I was actually wondering if we could kind of keep an eye to see where the Ulric Games went.
Oh, you want to?
Games. Just, yeah. Because I had kind of another idea, you know? If the concern is that we can't get into the meeting to see what they're going to talk about, if we're concerned that the people in that meeting are going to sway the Emperor in some bad way, the other option is to keep the people who are bad people from going to the meeting. You just get them to, you know, fall down some stairs or get really drunk and sick or, like, have a corn on your foot.
Okay.
The concern...
If you want to follow Yeffy from the palace, if you just want to go out the door and follow this procession, you certainly can. Is that what you want to do? Yeah. Mina, are you tagging along?
Check out where this guy's going.
Yeah, if Yeffy is letting me know, then I will follow.
Okay.
If I turn around and Yeffy is not there, Mina will just be left behind.
Okay.
What do you think I am, Bruno?
You follow them. You follow them down the street, and they arrive at a kind of a small inn that appears to be called the Howling Wolf. And you can see that it has a large yard, and in the yard, many tents have been pitched, and you can see some one or two of the folks in the procession go into the inn itself, but others are moving into this little grouping of tents that's pitched out in the yard. It definitely seems like they've clearly taken over the place and then some, and kind of spilled out. And there's a lot of bustling activity. You can see some very harried-looking staff running to and from the camp and the main building, carrying trays of food and drink and etc. Let's see, Yeffy, roll me a fellowship test, please.
Any special stuff like my suave or anything?
Yeah, you can use suave.
I don't know.
Suave, sure.
Suave or disguise. I'm an owl wolf. Okay. Yeah, I know. That's only a 13.
Okay. You get you definitely pick up that these are Ulricians, and you know, there's some people, there's some other gawkers that are just kind of following along and watching, and folks who get pulled in, camp followers, and you know, other servants who are getting pulled into their kind of orbit to help out with whatever's going on in this campsite. You pick up that they're definitely Ulricians, and you hear an aside. You hear someone mentioning just off to the side there, somebody is going to go and speak with our Ulric, and you have a moment of like, wait, what? He's dead. He can't be here.
Is this the other Ulric?
It must be the other one.
The one that was mentioned? Did he just have to have the same name? Or something?
Maybe it's just a name that the person in charge has.
Mina, this is a good time to be invisible.
Okay.
I consent to your magic for the first time.
Okay. I'm gonna do such a good job. I promise. I promise. I did. I got a 4 and a 2.
Excellent.
Perfectly fine.
Excellent.
Went off without a hitch.
Yeffy vanishes before your eyes. And then perhaps, Yeffy, are you still carrying these boxes?
I'll take them.
You said set down a couple of boxes of buns materialize before you, Mina, as Yeffy sets them down on the ground.
Surprise buns.
What do you do, Yeffy?
I mean, you coming with me? I guess you can't because you can't see me. I'm just gonna go inside to listen in the inn, see if I can figure out which room is all right. Oh, you can't see the finger quotes because I'm invisible.
Mina sort of looks around and realizes that now she's just standing here without any protection of good lying, and is also going to cast invisibility on herself.
Okay.
And I get a 6 and a 1, so it works, but a small mishap for myself.
Excellent.
Man, if only Indigo was here and we didn't do separate things. We'll make it quick. Don't worry, Indigo. We're coming back, buddy. Don't worry. Or you'll find us somewhere.
Mina, you disappear from sight likewise setting down your box of buns. So the two of you are standing invisible now amongst a large stack of boxes of buns. And you notice one of the boxes tips over and opens up, and several of the buns come rolling out and sprout little tiny legs and start running around. And somebody notices, goes, "What is that?" And then a whole bunch of people kind of start to crowd around, start rushing over to look at the strange buns with little tiny legs that are running around.
A distraction! Let's go!
Stick away, stick away, stick away!
The two of
And I'll
you,
start talking, we're fine.
is it an animal carrying a bun? What is that? No, it's witchcraft. It's demons. And there's all kinds of
Fun rat.
shouts going on.
Yeah, like
as
while Yeffy
the
is
two
doing
of
this,
you
like,
slide away.
should I cast a spell magic? No? Okay.
We're in the world now, Mina. There's gonna probably be in Bruno's jar any day.
Oh, God. I don't need to add to that. I don't need to be responsible for that.
Just keep saying, I'm the good guy, I'm the good guy.
The two
yeah.
of you scamper away from the site and towards the inn itself, I believe is where you're headed, Yeffy.
Yes, we're gonna see if Ulrich has some kind of room here by sneaking around and listening and spying.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, you start to skulk about. You enter the main sort of tap room. It's very full. You see a lot of people, again in large wolf pelts. Some you see that symbol around a lot more. And you just generally get this buzz, this excited buzz of like the Church of Ulric is here to represent our Ulric, who is one of the Elector Counts, is here to take his rightful place amongst the Elector Counts in this meeting tomorrow morning. And you pick that up and you skulk around a little bit more, and you try to find a servant that you can shadow who's going upstairs to our Ulric's room himself.
Excellent.
Things. Okay. You eventually manage to shadow a servant up the stairs, and you clearly at the top of the inn there's a large set of suites. The servant raps on a door, and there's a shout to enter. You push open the door, and you can see that there's a group of men sitting around a table. There's about 5 of them, all in these elaborate wolf pelts. One of them has a big wolf head on it and looks very similar to the dress you remember seeing the real Ulric in, but this guy's much younger, and you can see he looks fairly rough, like he's got some like a big scar on his cheek that kind of digs down into his scraggly beard, and the servant comes in to serve some wine. What are you doing, Yeffy? Because the servant just sort of pushes it in the door and is going to like close the door behind them. Are you trying to slide in behind them, or are you going to stay at the door?
Yeah, I'll squeeze.
Okay, give me
I'll squeeze.
Roll me an agility test, please, and you can use your contortionist for this.
Yay! Oh shit! Sorry, I dropped my die on the floor. I'm sorry. I'm swearing. Oh no! I rolled a
Great.
1.
Oh!
Yeah, doesn't matter how much contortionist I have.
No, not with the 1.
No.
So, Yeffy, you go to slide through the door, and the servant just kind of pushes through the door and just immediately slings it shut, and it just slams right in your face, and you can't help but let out a little yelp. There's a moment, the door is shut, and you hear some muffled voices, and the door opens just a quick crack. You can see somebody peering out, somebody in wolf garb kind of quickly peers out and then shuts the door again.
Well, that could have gone worse. Should we knock on the door again?
You can, but they're probably gonna only open it like that big, and I'm good, but I'm not that good. maybe I just do my stretches. Maybe I just do my stretches. Hold on. You know what? Maybe we could go into a room out the window.
Oh, I don't.
That works.
What if we knocked on the door and then like pushed it like it was a big gust of wind? Is that anything?
Might be a little obvious. Is that where'd the wind come from? I guess that works.
We could do the window. I just how far up are we? Like 20 feet? Too many feet.
You're on the second story of the inn.
Oh God. I'm gonna try my great idea. See if that works.
All right, I'll get down real low.
I give like 2 thumbs up, and you can't see me.
Like a cat.
Okay, I'm gonna knock on the door and just try and push it. Like that's gonna be really obvious. But my hope is that somebody, they try and see who's here by walking outside and open the door enough. And this is not gonna work. I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door. There's a brief moment. The door opens, not very wide, but not just a crack, but wide enough to show the full form of a large man in wolf pelts, with some like tattoos on his face, and he's holding a big axe in his hand, and he looks out. And there's a brief moment, and then you see him say, he looks over and he says, Ulric, Grand Prince Hals von Tasselnick is here. Meaning you quickly look over your shoulder and you can see a group coming up the hallway behind you. With a kind of elderly-looking man leaning on a cane, but in very nice garb, and he's got 2 kind of burly-looking gentlemen in armor following on either side of him, and he's kind of coming up the stairs and up into the hallway.
Holy shit! Mina's gonna press herself up against the hallway, so she doesn't push anyone as they come in and try and just follow in with the procession.
Give me an
when they open that door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scoot through the legs.
You can both roll me agility to see if you can get in.
Yeah.
Oh, good. These are my.
Oh, thank God. Okay. With the contortionist too.
Yes.
Great. 17.
17.
Much better.
Mina?
9.
9.
9.
Mina, you go to try to sneak in and find you get tripped up on something invisible, small, moving quickly, and realize that Yeffy has just tumbled in. And you get kind of pushed to the side a little bit as the door opens a little bit wider, and this group of 3 people come in, and you end up getting just pressed against the wall, hoping that none of them actually touch you as they push by, and they all go into the room and shut the door, and you're left standing out in the hallway.
Damn it!
Yeffy, you're inside the room now, as the young Ulric stands up and bows and says, Grand Prince, thank you for joining us. The old man kind of shakes his cane at him. Yes, I have heard there was a new Ulric. This was very quick, though. Well, my prince, it's the wolves move swiftly when on the hunt. Good. And do we still have your support in Osterland? Yes, Grand Prince. Please, sit. What do you know of this meeting that we are to attend? I don't know much, but I've heard that perhaps Karl Franz intends abdication. We must. That is unwell. They continue to have their conversation. Yeffy, what are you doing while they're chatting?
I'm finding a place to hide, like under a bed.
Okay.
And I'm going, thank God you're here, Mina.
You realize that you are utterly alone as you scoot under the bed and continue to listen to the voices of what appears to be Grand Prince Hals von Tassernick from Ostland and the R. Ulric, who he refers to as R. Ulric.
Yeah, okay. I just remember that they said that that guy was trying to make like some kind of giant idol of corn, right? Like there was some spire and there was like a blood spire, which sounded delicious. It sounded like a family resort. However, looking around and like their bags or their clothes, is there any symbols of corn here, or stuff like that? Would you have to even realize what that is? Let out, Colleen. Hi.
You think at this point you remember being in the Temple of Corn, and you think you would recognize a symbol of corn at this point. However,
why would that be, Paul?
You don't see any of that around. As you're listening in, Yeffy, you hear them continuing to talk. It sounds like there was clearly some kind of friction between Ostland and its neighbor Talabecland. And there's clearly some kind of fight going on between those two provinces that the Grand Prince refers to repeatedly. They seem to be talking a little bit guardedly. That the two of them clearly maybe don't quite trust each other completely. But you're also able to pick up that clearly that this group of Ulricians are the group that are known in Midland as the Sons of Ulric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Eventually, the conversation becomes a little tedious because there's clearly just a lot of political machinations going on amongst them, and they clearly just don't know very much about what they're getting into. They don't know what the meeting's about, and they both don't really trust each other. So there's a lot of very careful, guarded speech happening. But eventually, the Grand Prince takes his leave. And you feel like your leg is starting to go numb because you've been under the bed for a long time, and you hear the motions of them sort of chairs scooting as they're starting to get up, and you think it might be a good time to escape if you wanted to.
I would like to get out of this hellscape. Yes.
Excellent.
Political banter. Yes.
Mina, you've been stuck outside in the hall for a little while. What do you do?
Yep. When the door opens again, you just hear something like a whisper on the wind going, "Yaffy," with the assumption that Yaffy is leaving soon and won't know where I am. No, Mina's just been sort of walking back and forth, realized she's making too much noise, sitting down, walking back and forth, etc., etc., etc.
Excellent.
For an hour.
Eventually the door does open. You can see that old man and his two bodyguards come tottering back down the hall to go back down the stairs. Yeffy tumbles easily out the door as they're exiting, and you hear the whispered Yeffy, and Yeffy reaches out and her hand touches Mina.
Oh my god!
I thought you were in there with me. I was trapped in political debate.
I'm so sorry. I was trapped out here in nothing for an hour. So those both sound equally boring. We should do more Baker things.
It is now getting fairly late at night, I will point out as well, because it was already evening when you started the Baker routine.
Let's go find Indigo. You can tell me anything interesting?
Oh my gosh. So these guys are definitely the Sons of Ulric guys. You know, the ones who attacked that guy, that Grand Thumhan guy.
Got anyone?
Yeah, and I guess they made some kind of deal with that prince guy over these two lands. I was like, I Ashley and Ashlyn or Ocelyn or I'm bad with a map. I probably wasn't the best person to put in that room. And Talkabal, Taka, starts with a T, ta sound. Yeah. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about.
I still have that book of
Excellent.
nobles of the area. So once we get out of here, maybe I'll cross-reference with the book and be like, was it this guy or that guy?
Excellent.
So that we have a good sense of
Do you take
that
some?
guy. Okay.
You take some measures to relieve yourself of the invisibility, Mina, or do you remain invisible?
Yes. I will actually cast a spell. Once we are clear of the space, I'll cast spell magic, which I can do, I believe, without rolling if it's on my own magic.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
You can
Which
do
was
that.
the real reason I took that spell.
You do. You do still have to roll the casting dice.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't do that. So that was a 1 and a 3. It takes a minute.
Yep.
I wait to try it until we're out of range of the inn, and I don't announce that I'm trying it because I don't want to be embarrassed. So I did roll 1 and a 3. It didn't work, and I got a minor mishap.
Very good. You want to try again?
I do wish to try again.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. Okay, that's a 4 and a 3. So I did successfully do it.
Yay!
Indigo, you're sitting at the bar at your inn, having just had a meeting with the general. The door swings open. In walks Mina and Yeffy, dressed as bakers. And as soon as they walk in the door, there's sort of like this ripple throughout the inn as people spit out their beer and it's gone bad. It's skunked in the cup, and everyone at the bar seems to have the same effect of just their beer has just gone totally bad in an instant.
That must be somebody else. Don't drink that, Indigo.
Yeah. It's terrible, Indigo. It's terrible.
Oh,
Yep.
God. Oh. Nina, did you ruin the beer with your magic? That's the worst thing you can ruin.
Are we
You can make the
including the demon
paper
in this?
big. You can make a big flower. You can summon a demon, but don't ruin the beer.
I'm sorry. I could try and fix it, maybe.
No.
No, give me your
okay.
cup. I'll try it. I'll spend the next literally hour of the next following conversation with us sharing information, attempting to dispel magic on this beer.
All right, Indigo. Well, she's doing that. I got some bad news. The Sons of Ulric are in town, and they've got all Ulric, and he's this young, weirdo guy with a scar, and big guy, and he's rough, and he probably drinks blood, but I'm not sure. And he's doing bad political stuff. He didn't waste any time. He's involved in this coup. Somebody tapped him right away, and now he's in charge of the Church of Ulric, or whatever they call themselves with the wolves thing. They also talk about Howling at the Moon. That was kind of weird too. That's a weird thing you gotta look out for when people talk about Howling at the Moon, because then they can become wolves. So I would be worried about that. And he was dealing with this prince guy who was all I don't like my neighbor. Are you gonna help me kill my neighbor? And he was like, yeah, I guess, but I don't like you. But I'll help you because I'm not really a good person, so I can't trust people because I have inherent trust issues deep down, probably from some kind of childhood trauma.
Did he said all that out loud?
That's the vibe I got.
Oh, well, that's not good.
But the
Take our Ulrich
part
is
about
there.
his neighbors, yeah. So they're making a packed room for whatever reason. I kind of fell asleep at one point. My leg fell asleep, so I kind of missed some of it. And I really wasn't sure what they were talking about because I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
But I tried.
Well,
Mina got locked out of the room. I was kind of counting on her being there.
That being said, Indigo, would you like to try this beer now? I feel like 80% sure that it's definitely improved.
Yes.
Excellent. Indigo appears now to be milk.
Fuck. Wait, give me a second.
Right.
I got
It
this.
tastes
No worries.
better, I guess.
All right, I'll take it.
So
You know-
I heard we're not invited to the event tomorrow, but that it would be several hours of political meetings. So
After being in only an hour of political talk, I don't know if that would actually be helpful for us.
yeah,
Here's my concern. So the only person that we know who is invited to this is the Graph, and as far as we know, there were like all these horrible machinations to try and turn him into a shapeshifter or whatever. As far as we know, like, we have no idea who attending this meeting is going to be secretly evil or whatever.
At least two people that we
At
just
least two people.
found out about.
And I don't know, like, that feels like the right time to murder someone is when everyone's in a room together, but at the same time, we have no idea who any of these people are. I don't know.
well,
I don't know.
I don't think they'd try to murder anybody, because if they did, whoever did it would get annihilated by every guard. That place is going to be swarming with guards. The Knights Panther, not to mention the personal guard of every other Graph, and the personal guard of the Emperor. And I think if that happened, it might band the Empire together.
That's a good point, actually. It's just, I feel like there's been some kind of... We only have, like, the tiniest piece of the puzzle, and there's some kind of culmination that's happening here. And you're right, Yeffy, we're not going to understand any of the political stuff. But, like, we're here, aren't we? I don't know.
There's got to be something else we can do. I think it's a good thing that we didn't let the Graph die, because that's one less person. Maybe they only were looking to get the actual majority, and they don't know that they didn't succeed.
Oh, maybe. Well, it's just, what did they want? Did they want the Emperor to abdicate? Did they not want it? What's wrong with the Emperor's son? Why is everyone so... I don't know. Maybe he could be an ally.
Maybe.
Or something. We're so in over our head.
I don't know. Those two guys over there seem to think that it was a good idea that the Emperor was abdicating, or, like... yeah. It's probably bad. Who's he
That's a good point.
To?
A mutant, or maybe just a guy.
Well, he'd abdicate to his son, the prince.
Well, weren't there two groups here anyway? There was, like, the guys who like mutants and want everybody to be a mutant, and then there's, like, the other... Yeah, and then isn't there another group who doesn't like that?
Us?
The vampires.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
But they also want something else, right? Right? So whose side is... I guess we need to, like, make a pie chart. Is that the right thing we'll have to make? I'm not good with graphs. We'll have to make some kind of form showing all of who these people are, and I don't really have that kind of background.
A Venn diagram. Okay. Wait.
Is it a Venn diagram? Is that the one with the pie? Or is that the one with, like, the intersecting bubbles? Or is that the one with the lines that swiggle?
That's the intersecting bubbles. Maybe that's not what you wanted. Okay.
I like pie.
Cherry?
Delicious.
Is that your favorite now? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you talking about? Rhubarb and strawberry all the way. Okay.
It is starting. I will tell you, it's starting to get late at night here at the tavern. A lot of the people who are staying here have left the common room. You find less and less people here as they head up to their beds. Clearly, there's this important meetings happening in the morning beyond just the big one that the Emperor has called amongst the Elector Counts. That there's clearly other meetings with all the Elector Counts and their retinues here in Altdorf together. There's a lot of discussions, a lot of discussions being had, and a lot of meetings being set up. And so people are quickly vanishing to their beds as the night draws on.
If nothing else, I think we should warn the Graf that the Sons of Ulric are here.
Yes.
What about how about the Sigmarites? Because, right, the Sigmarites are here too, right?
Yes. We just don't exactly have a lot of access to the Grand Theogenist.
Why not? You're the guy who saved his life and has the prophecy.
Yeah, I mean, I do have that Order of the Burning Heart thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that just gives you last-minute counsel with him? I mean, we could try.
Yeah, the last-minute counsel where you're like, hey, that guy who tried to kill you, he's now in charge of that church, and he's trying to kill you still. Right? I don't know. That might not be important information. We could also break into the Fox house and see if any weird stuff's happening in that room.
You know what we could do?
Also a great idea.
That's a great idea. What if we broke in now and just stayed there until the meeting started? We got invisible. We break in at, like, late at night, and then there's no concern. Or if there's, like, somewhere we can hide or something. And then we don't have to worry about sneaking in, sneaking out.
I think we should do that if it looks like something really bad is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, like, they might just talk politics, in which case we'll fall asleep. And then they'll know we're not invisible. I snore.
That's a fair point. Okay, yeah, let's see if there's something going on there. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Before we go, I want to talk to some member of the Graf's retinue and tell them that the Sons of Ulric are here, are planning on attending the meeting.
It seems at this point it seems like everybody's going off to bed. Are you going to just go bang on a door until try and wake someone up?
When you write me a letter, or we could bang on the door.
I can write you a letter.
Yeah, it's a better action. That's good. Yeah.
Unless you want practice.
I'm okay.
Sure.
Great. Just have it say that the Sons of Ulric are planning on attending the meeting. They're in Altdorf. Be careful. Indigo
Done.
plus his men.
Indigo and his men. Yes.
Excellent. And what do you do with this letter?
I will slide it under the door of the general's room.
Okay. Great. And then off to bed yourselves? Or other nighttime prowlings?
Other nighttime prowlings.
Yeah? What are you up to?
I mean, you guys can always sleep. I'm just awake. That's all.
Well, let's go. I think Mina
Yeah,
the last pass turned that beer into a cup of coffee, so I'm pretty I'm ready to get going.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Is there any coffee left?
You have some coffee. It's late at night. You're in Altdorf. Where are you off to?
We're gonna go to Vauxhall. Yeah.
Sorry, you're going where?
To Vauxhall. To see
You're
if
going to
there's
go to the
any
Vauxhall.
shenanigans.
Very good.
Yes, to see if there's shenanigans going on there.
Okay.
Shenanigans.
You head to the center of town. There's a lot of official-looking buildings around here. It's a lot of large, fancy architecture, but it's late at night, and so the streets are generally pretty quiet. There's a few panhandlers here and there, people scurrying off to wherever it is they're going for the evening, but it's reasonably quiet. And you come up to the Vauxhall. It's a big sort of a compound. So there's a little bit of there's a fence around it, like an ironwork fence with a gate, then leads up to a large octagonal building, and then there are a couple of other smaller outbuildings around it. What do you do? It looks pretty quiet. There's no lights. There's no guards. There's like it says, ironwork fence around it, but it's looks like the gate is shut. But you don't see anybody standing watch in front of it or anything.
Slip in, I guess, unless we want to case it. The outside. Mina looks at you.
Yeah, we can do a quick look about and see if anybody's already kind of been here, and then we can get in.
You circle around the complex. The gate. There's only the one gate to the fence. It does look, Yeffy, like it's got a nice large lock on it.
Nice. Nice lock.
We're climbing the fence, right?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get how far apart are the bars?
They're pretty close. They're close enough that like even a child wouldn't squeeze through. Okay. You are a contortionist, Yeffy. It's not impossible. You could try to squeeze through if you wanted, but certainly Mina and Indigo would not be able to.
Yeah, it's like a squid though. Can my head fit? Because that's the biggest bone.
you think it's possible, Yeffy, although you might get stuck.
Yeah. Any way to pick the lock?
You could try to pick the lock if you want. That'll take an agility test. You don't have a particular skill in that, so...
I'll just sleight of hand, but that's
Sleight of hand, yeah, you can use that. Yep, that's perfect.
Oh, okay, great.
That's perfect.
That's plus my level, right?
Yep.
Cool. 22.
Okay, yeah. With a little bit of effort, the lock clicks open, and you're able to swing open the gate and enter the interior.
Just like old times.
Just like old times. Indeed. This thing's heavy. I just had to fit my arm in it, you know? Yeah. I think it's charming, but you know, whatever. Thanks, Indigo. Alright. Let's figure out if they've done any of this room.
Do you go straight to the large central building, or you go to one of the little outbuildings? Or something else?
I think we want to just fully investigate, so we'll go to one of the little outbuildings, and then we'll go to the interior. Yeah, guys? Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Usually my plans fall apart by this time.
You sneak on over to the largest of the smaller outbuildings. You peek in through the window, Yeffy, and you can see it looks like a little 2-room building. In the back half there's a small kitchen. In the front half there's a little dining room with a table that looks like it would seat about 8 people. It looks very nice in the dining room part of it. Looks like a place where fancy rich people might sit down and have a meal or a meeting or something like that. It's totally empty. You don't see any people.
I
This
want
is
to
a
investigate that room a little bit. Look
Thank
for
you,
marks
Indigo.
on the floor, strange drawings hidden under the table.
You come in, you start poking around, looking for unusual symbols. You see plenty of symbols of Altdorf itself. That's there's tabards on the wall that's clearly make it feel like an official place that you're in. You can see there's a little side table as you come into the dining room. There's a little side table that's got it seems to be well stocked with blank parchment and ink and quills. But you don't find anything unusual. The cupboards of the kitchen area are well stocked with foods. Looks like it's all prepared for something. Like everything's like laid out and ready for someone to go in there and make a meal probably on the morning. But right now it's all just quiet and dark. You shouldn't find anything unusual.
Okay.
To the big meeting hall?
Okay.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a feeling, guys, that they just were really confident that whatever they had planned is gonna happen.
You head.
So,
Sorry.
yeah, so like if they show up, then this happens. If we get some of them not to show up, maybe it helps. They're all sleeping right
Maybe.
now.
What are you saying? We killed all
No, I mean, why? That sounds terrible. That sounds like a terrible thing to wait till someone's asleep in their bed and then you crawl on the ceiling or something like that and then down. Like, that sounds like a terrible nightmare that's reoccurring.
Well, I think that's... Okay, forgive me if I don't know what the Purple Hand wants, because nobody will explain it to me, but it seems like murdering all of the people who are the leaders would probably be a very chaotic thing to do. So maybe we don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah, okay, sorry.
I would like to look at just the room where the meeting is going to be, though, just to make sure.
I could do that.
Yeah.
You skulk on over to the large, the large octagonal building. It's quite tall. Looks like it's at least 2 stories tall with a domed roof. A huge set of double doors that lead into the front, which also look to be locked.
Do your thing, Yeffy.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that twice, but okay. Here we go. Hold on. 10.
Unfortunately, this lock does not give to your skill, Yeffy. There are windows around the outside of the building. You feel like you could go around and peer in them. They look like you're not sure if they will open, but you could certainly at least look in.
Yeah, let's look.
Yeah.
And you also notice that there is a small piece of the building that juts out on the let's see, on the left side as you face the double doors. There's an extra little like annex attached to the main building. I'll just show you this. So as you skulk about and peer into the windows, which do appear to be locked as well, so you're unfortunately unable to get them open unless you want to consider breaking glass. But this is what the interior of the building looks like. You can see there's a large wooden table in the center, surrounded by 14 chairs, and a big throne that sits opposite the double doors. And then radiating out from that are ranks of benches. And then all along the very edge of the building, is a slightly raised walkway. And as you peer through, you can see large banners on the walls, sort of designating the different portions of these benches that have little walls, little sort of like if you've ever been in an old New England church, they have little wooden half walls, like pews almost. But But you can see directly behind the throne, opposite the double doors, is a large emblem of Altdorf. And on either side, you can see symbols of Sigmar along those walls. And then you can see, let's see, looking to the left, as you look across. Actually, why don't I just look at the map that we're actually looking at, and I'll start in the top right. You can see the symbol, the emblem of Sudenland, Talbot land, the Middenlands.
Oh, that's one of the things.
Middenheim, Averland, Ulric, Sigmar. Then you get towards the middle, and there's the Imperial emblem there, right behind the throne. Another emblem of Sigmar. Ostland, Sturland, Nuln, the Moot, and Talbot land.
It's Talbot land again.
I'm sorry, I already said Talbot land. That is Talbheim. Sorry, Talbheim.
Talbheim. Totally different.
Totally different place. Yep.
If I broke this glass to try and get in, my thought is that the only thing that will happen is that they'll be like, "Oh no, someone broke in. We should increase security for tomorrow," which would be great. So, I'm gonna say that out loud to Indigo and Yeffy, and then I'm going to very slowly start to break the glass so they can stop me at any time. But I will try and break it.
Okay.
Anybody stopping Mina?
You know what? This is a win-win too, Mina. If they're increasing security, or they cancel and they postpone it to a different time and place.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And we know these guys have a
roll?
freaking deadline.
No. There's a crash and a tinkle, and you break the glass into one of the windows. Which window? Which window do you want there?
I would like to do the one. Okay, so I can do any of the windows around the area.
Yeah, as you look at the top, there's the double doors, and then you can see each other wall has large windows in it, except for the piece of wall next to the annex, which appears to have the small shrine to Sigmar in it.
Yeah, I would like to do one of the windows, the window next to the annex, but furthest away, the one next to the Ulrician.
Excellent. Very good.
Signal. Yeah.
Yep, very good. By the Ulricians. Okay. You break a chunk of window, big enough, I assume, for you to reach in and flip the latch, get the window open, and climb it.
Yes. I want to check out the annex.
Okay.
And see if there's anything going on over there.
Through the door, you can see is a small shrine to Sigmar. There is a little altar and a symbol of Sigmar. There's a large, there's a kind of an ornate rug laid out on the ground with some kind of symbols and writing on it. There is to the left as you enter the room, there's a little nook with some shelves and a couple of books and some candlesticks and other sort of, looks like, stuff one would use for a small service to Sigmar. It's clearly, it seems very private. Like, you probably wouldn't put more than like a dozen people would fill this room. If there was a dozen people in this room, you would feel like it's kind of full and crowded.
Ooh, Indigo, you should say hi or something. Sigmar.
Hello.
Shrine. Leave him something.
Sigmar.
See if he's got something for you. Maybe he can tell us what we're doing.
Nothing happens.
Oh. I felt good about that.
Anything under the rug?
You roll up the rug to look at the floor underneath Yeffy.
Yeah, sure.
And it is just plain stone.
Aha! It's stone, guys! Are there any things like stamps, little signs? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Indigo.
I want to go out into the main central table area and do the same kind of search that I did before. Look on the floors, under the chairs, under the tables, look for hidden symbols or strange objects. Something that looked like it was hiding.
you don't find any unusual symbols. You do find that the 14 chairs sitting around the table look somewhat personalized. Each one has different carvings or symbols painted on it, but they usually look like they kind of match some of the things that you see around on the walls, like emblems of some of the different provinces, or Ulric or Sigmar, that sort of thing. And then some of them have like a little pocket or shelf on the side. So it's a good hefty chair there. And so some of them have some papers or a little book or other personal effects that looks like this is someone specific's chair.
I'm gonna check the throne.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is treason. If we
Large.
get caught, we're gonna get killed. Oh
Large.
my god, I shouldn't be doing this.
So large ornate throne clearly has symbols of the Empire carved into it. It's impressive. It's very tall. You've got to mount a couple steps to get up and sit in it. I don't know if you do, Indigo. Do you sit in it?
Do it.
Yeah.
Like expecting divine retribution every time.
Excellent.
You look it up there.
You tentatively
Don't
sit
say that. Don't
in the
say
throne,
that.
Indigo. Nothing happens. You don't find any like secret compartments or strange hidden symbols amongst the carvings that are unpleasant. It all seems fairly straightforward.
I don't think it works like this, but I would like to also go down to the table and just try and cast Dispel Magic.
Excellent. Roll some dice. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god. Don't summon
I summon a demon.
Here, Mina.
Okay, no, I got a 9, so
Okay.
it works.
Will you roll a d20 for me?
Oh my god. I don't add anything to this, right?
I think you add your level. I'm just going to double check. Caster level.
Okay, so that's a 14.
Okay. You feel like there are some enchantments in here, and you feel them pressing against your effort to pull them apart and send the winds of magic back into the very air, and they resist you, and you're unable to dispel whatever it is, whatever enchantment lays in this room.
Do I get any sense of where it might be at all?
It seems to be surrounding the central circle with some magical effect is in the center of the room around the table and chairs and throne.
I impart this knowledge.
Okay.
What's that? What is it? Is it good? Is it bad?
Maybe it's like a protection thing. I don't know. I know Indigo just checked everything, but I'm gonna do another double check of the table just to see if there's any magic symbols I recognize.
Okay. You do see some symbols here and there that are reminiscent of the different schools of magic carved into some of the, especially into the throne, and especially the areas that seem to imply Altdorf or the Empire. But they're minor. They're usually small details. They look like they're part of the decor. They don't look like unusual or they stick out in any way, but they're definitely there. Possibly it's your gut feeling is that this is the artist sort of embracing the makeup of Altdorf as the center of magic in the Empire.
But not actually like any spells.
Not that you could tell. No.
Okay.
While Mina is doing this, sorry, I want to look out the window, see if anyone. I want to be on
Good.
watch.
Smart.
Okay. It looks pretty dark out there. And I'm assuming you guys have been bumbling about in the dark, just going by the light of the stars and the moon as best you can. Mm-hmm. Which doesn't put a lot of light into this room, but enough.
And
Right.
they need to beef up their security here. anyone could just break in and put spells on stuff.
Do you want to rearrange the chairs to see if anything happens?
That'd be funny.
They would
That
notice.
would be funny. Oh, they would
They
notice.
seem really heavy, though. I mean, we could put like a write a sign on the thing that's like, "Death to all Sigmarites. Please cancel this meeting." But I don't think that's a great idea.
I think that's a little extreme. I was just thinking about maybe, defecating on Sir Ulric's chair there or whatever.
Oh, we should do that.
Indigo doesn't like that idea. I can tell.
I don't like being here. Whatever we gotta do to get out of here as fast as possible.
That's fine. There's clearly nothing here. There's some spells. They've set up security. Like I said, it sounds like they're going to have this meeting, and whatever they decide, they're going to decide it. And if we've somehow helped them tip it in the favor of the people, then we did that. If we didn't, then we don't know. Something bad's going to happen. Maybe all those temples to Khorne and the mutants and whatever are going to do something. They'll get their next temple approved for their civic engineering crew, where they're enslaving my people to making all those temples.
Remember when that was a really important thing that we really needed to figure out? No,
we should
that? Actually. We should.
Yeah, you remember that?
Maybe.
Do you remember what? You remember when all my people were like, "Oh yeah, well they're freaking killing us, so we're gonna go make these stupid temples because it's the only way we're gonna make money, and we're gonna make them over these old dwarven freaking towers, and there's these temples to these chaos gods that you guys keep telling me about." And then Indigo has some vision from Sigmar. It's like, "You're gonna free the dwarves and be friends with everybody, and it's gonna be great." And we haven't even looked into where the hell that place is, but it's supposed to be great, and we're supposed to help the dwarves. And there's no dwarves on this council, and I call a revote.
That's a great point, A, and B, a really good argument for us to actually stay here for this meeting, because maybe we can find out who's requesting those stupid friggin' watchtowers. Right? There's going to be a lot of political stuff. No, but I think that there's a lot of political stuff that's going to go super over our head. But this is like the first time all these people are meeting in ages, I assume, and they're doing, they're all going to be trying. If there's going to be a new emperor, they're all going to be trying to be like, "Here's my important plans," or whatever. Please follow through with them, or something, I assume. And if it's important to someone, they'd bring it up, right? Or something. I don't know how politics work.
Yeah, but by the end of this meeting, right, they're gonna put some new dark overlord in charge, because the emperor's gonna abdicate.
I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. We came to Aldorf even though there's someone who wants to super murder us here, and I don't want to have come here for no reason. I don't want to put us at risk just to not be in the most important meeting that's ever happened in this ever. So I think we should attend.
Great.
Okay. What's your plan for attending?
None.
Because I'm
None
worried
plan.
that if we tried to just turn invisible and hang out in this room, that they'd see the broken window, bring a bunch of wizards in to start cast some spells and search and
What was
find
with the
us.
nice dining room with the 8-seater table? What was going on there? That was nice. Who's that for?
Private meetings with the Emperor?
The servants? Why don't we hang out in that room tomorrow? We can get into that room because we can get into the kitchens. We could probably get into that room. Can't get into the big room, but we might be able to get in that room. There might be something there. We could also tell the Graf and the Grand Sibylimaha that, there's temples to freaking Khorne, which, sounds like a detriment, but smells really good.
I mean, we did tell the Grand Theogenist that when we met him.
Yeah.
He didn't seem super duper Like that was going to be on number 1 on his priority list.
He didn't seem super excited about dealing with that.
Okay, well, let's get out of this room. Let's get out of the room.
All right.
You quickly retreat from the Vauxhall. Are you headed to one of the other rooms in this compound? Or are you leaving entirely back to your inn? Or something else?
Do you want to see if there's other little outbuildings? Are they all set up like that with a little dining room?
You poke around some of the other little outbuildings. There's a variety of... There's a couple that are similar to that, but actually even smaller that maybe only hold 4 or 6 people. There are others that... there's about... there's 6 of them in total. So there's 3 of them that are like this, that look like small meeting rooms. Sometimes with one of them has this little kitchen attached, but the other 2 don't. They're just little, these kind of smaller rooms. And then one of them looks much more common. It's just filled with like long tables and benches and stuff. It looks like it's for less fancy people to hang out.
Yes.
And then another one is just supplies. It's just full of boxes and crates and looks like probably food supplies and other such things. Sorry, did I say 6? I meant 5. There are 5 of them.
Yeah, the entourage need to sit somewhere, right?
Yes.
All right, this is what we do. We're going to go back. We're going to go sleep. We'll come out here, and we'll figure out some kind of way to sneak our ways into these entourages. Or into the wait staff, and then make a switcheroo, and get into one of these smaller rooms and see if there's anything we can find from those rooms. We can't get into the big room. Or we can try to get the big room, but it looks like it's pretty tight. And they're going to investigate that broken window, so we be on that lookout now for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything else we would want to do, so sticking around this meeting seems wise.
Yeah. I wonder if Urlic's going to be in attendance.
Well, I hope not. If he's invited and we're not invited, I would feel insulted.
So you head back to your inn?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you turn in for the night. Laying plans, etc.
Yeah. Let's go out the window.
Come morning, you are roused by quite a lot of movement in the inn, because it sounds like the Graf and his whole entourage are preparing themselves to depart to the Vauxhall for this important meeting. And you can see the Graf and the General and Jenna and a handful of Knights Panther have all kind of loaded up into a very fancy coach, and they're riding off to the Vauxhall.
Oh.
What do you 3 of you do? As this bustle begins.
Wait, Mina, your girlfriend's going?
Rounds.
I'm gonna pull Jen aside and just let her know about the Sons of Ulric, and that we don't feel great about this meeting, and also that there's some kind of enchantment on the table. Don't ask me how I know that. And just to keep her eyes open and maybe stand as far away as possible from the center stuff. Be safe, basically.
Yes, I heard about the Sons of Ulric from the General. He received your letter. And yes, that is very disturbing. That they've so quickly replaced our Ulric and got a presence. So how could they have moved so quickly to have been on our very tails to get down to Altdorf so fast? It seems unusual.
Ready for it.
Yes,
They planned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're just eating breakfast over here. We're not eavesdropping in on your
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
No, we're all involved in this conversation.
My coffee tastes like beer.
I'm sorry.
No.
I made coffee last night.
The tape. There's an enchantment on the table in the hall.
Yes.
I don't expect to be invited into the hall myself, but I guess I will see what I can find out. That seems unusual.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was some kind of protection or...
It could be that would be wise. Although why did nothing happen? I assume you saw it. You were there.
Oh, you mean protection from people breaking in? I was thinking more protection for people who were specifically sitting in those chairs. But that's a good point.
No, that is yes, of course, it could be protection for those who sit. Interesting.
You can poke around, but if anything looks dangerous, don't.
I will inform the
What?
Graf that there is potential for magical threat and ask if he wishes me to examine his own seat before he takes it.
Oh, okay. Yes, but then you should stand just all the way to the back. All the way to the back. I mean, I trust you. You're very good at what you do. But just
Of course.
Anyway, we'll be there. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're all getting ready and gonna load up on this coach. Besides talking to Jana, what else do you three of you do?
Guess we're following the coach.
You just follow the coach.
Yep.
Follow
God.
along. Are you dressed as Knights Panther? Are you dressed as Castor Lieberung? Are you?
Yes. Oh, dressing as Knights Panther sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I will go back as my baker chef.
Excellent. Yep.
My
He's
buns.
dressed as a baker with some buns. Mina Indigo dressed as Knights Panther. Bruno still notably
Where's
missing.
Bruno?
Notably missing.
That's weird.
The three of you follow the procession to back to the Vauxhall. There, as the gates are thrown wide open, and you can see other similar carriages and just various groups have arrived in whatever conveyance they can, and you can see some of them have taken some have taken over some of those outbuildings. Others are just hanging around in the yard in the open space, but it looks super full as you arrive. Obviously, you would guess each of the 14 counts must have brought easily a dozen people with them.
Yeah.
But you can see then as each one. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback from somewhere. That's really interesting. Is anybody else hearing that?
No.
Okay, I don't know where that's coming from. Sorry, it's interrupting me as I try to talk. Okay, so you can see that they're kind of setting up their little camps, and there's a lot of people milling about and talking to each other. But clearly, like over there is you can see the Grand Theogenist and several clerics, and over here you can see in fact, you see the very young 16-year-old Graf of Stirland with his entourage, which includes apparently Ariette and your friend Count Urlic are all there. You can see a lot of different groups like that spread about, and slowly, one by one, they seem to be filtering. Usually, the important person with just 2 or 3 attendants with them approach the main building, and the doors swing open, and you can see that there's clearly a crier there who announces them with all their titles and etc., and then the person goes in, and then some minutes pass, and again. You also hear some general buzz about the area as you're coming in. That's clearly that there's the broken window was clearly discovered, and everybody seems very much on edge about that. And in fact, you can see that there's particularly a large entourage of Imperial soldiers here.
So I assume each graph count has like a bunch of soldiers, right? Like the Knights Panther.
Indeed. Yeah.
Are they milling together?
They seem to. Each one seems to have set up
there
their own little space, whether that's at one of the outbuildings or just grabbed an area of the yard to sort of make their little impromptu camp. It's not really a camp. They're not like lighting fires and cooking food or anything, but they maybe park their coach or circle their horses. But they do also, even though their group seems to congregate there, you can see some mingling going about as people are talking to each other out here in the yard. Clearly very interested in the goings-on, but also it's clear that everyone has not been invited into the Grand Hall, even though you feel like, from having been there, that probably all these people could fit in the Grand Hall if they all went in. There was enough benches and whatnot that probably all these people could fit.
Is there any tension with the Imperial Guard against all these individual little groups, or
no? You feel
are they the ones?
What you're picking up from just the little bits of gossip, and I assume you guys kind of attach yourself to to Graf Todbringer's entourage, which is fine. The general and Janna obviously know you, and nobody puts up any kind of fuss about you being there. But generally, from the gossip, it sounds like a larger contingent of them was called on when the broken glass was discovered, and it sounds like a good number of them. From what you hear, a good number of them are actually inside as well, securing the place where the Emperor will appear.
Oh, that's great. So it worked perfectly.
Good plan.
Maybe. It's a harder for us.
That's true, but safer for the Empire.
Maybe.
Which was
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Wait.
Hopefully. Paranoid. You made me all paranoid. Oof.
It's surprising to me that if there's a bigger contingent of guards there and they're worried about security, that none of the individual guards are making a fuss about we want to be there with our count or graph or whatever. Is that not?
It's nobody? Anyone who makes that kind of statement is actually immediately rebuffed by the Imperial Guard, who seem to insist that the most important thing, of course, is to secure the Emperor himself, and thus everyone is still limited to just 2 to 3 attendants, which actually the other as you just talk idly to other members of the entourages and whatnot, you pick up is actually unusual. That typically when the Elector Counts do assemble like this, usually they are allowed to bring their entire entourage in. That's why they have that whole section full of benches. So it seems odd.
Interesting. I want to get...
Don't like that.
Not so odd that everybody's freaked out about it, but just, that's strange. I wonder why. It's the kind of vibe you get.
I want to spend some time bouncing between the camps to see if I can pick up any other gossip from just the different rats.
Give me a fellowship roll with your gossip skill.
Oh. Sorry, hold on.
Yeffy, what are you doing during all this?
Where did it go?
Far, far away, apparently.
Far away.
Journey. 16.
16. Okay. There's definitely a fair amount of tension between certain of the groups. Obviously, the Talbotland and Ostland contingent they're as far apart as can possibly be in this space. And there's obviously some hostility between those. But there's also an undercurrent of Ulric versus Sigmar. And there's some folks who are clearly pro-Ulric and others that are clearly pro-Sigmar, although it seems more of the latter than the former. So there's certainly tensions. But then there's also just a lot of speculation as to what the heck is even going on. Because it's unusual, to say the least, for the Emperor to call this kind of meeting. And so that's why everyone seems to think it must be something big. It must be that he has just become so decrepit that he must have realized his ill health and is ready to abdicate to his son. That's what they assume.
Do we have any sense of where the Emperor is going to be coming from? Like, surely he's not going to be coming in through the front hall.
You are not sure. You have not been able to pick up that information.
Maybe Yeffy can.
Yeffy, are you doing anything?
Sure. I'll separate from the herd of the graph, and I'll scurry like a bug over to the Sterling. Is it Sterlington? Sterling?
Sterling?
Vampire group.
The Sterling.
Sterling.
Group. Yeah.
Sterling
Yeah.
group.
That would be Graf Ulrich Haupt Andersen. You see him. He's very young. He looks like a teenager. He's got you can see both Count Urlic and Ariet with him, as well as what appears to be a group of Sterling militia.
And he's not wearing sunglasses, right?
He is not. He is not. Though both Urlic and Ariet are.
Yeah. All right. Yeffy will scurry on over to Marionette. I'm sure they can smell me.
Yeah. They immediately note your approach as you come. And Urlic actually turns to greet you. You can see him. He can see a big smile appear on his face. He steps forward to reach out to you, and immediately stepping right in front of him is Ariet. She just cuts him right off.
Nice.
Yeffy, good to see you. Sorry, Deborah, that you introduced yourself to her as Deborah, as I recall. Deborah.
Yeah,
what are you doing here,
Yeffy.
my little friend?
Well, I heard some things are happening, and I would listen, see what's going on. Heard there's a new Sons of Ulric, or old Ulric. Very quickly came here, so he's here now.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
I have heard that that they are not from Minheim. This group did not travel down the Minheim road. It is as if they were here already.
Yeah, they were already on their way before the other one died.
This is disturbing.
Yeah. That one, got away. And he was talking with a prince last night from Talcapaham.
Talabakland?
Yes, that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Evidently, they've made some kind of pact over Talbot Land's adversaries.
Yes, well, I know there's Talabakland and Ostland have been in dispute for some time, and there's definitely some skirmishes have broken out along the borders, but I don't know. I feel something about that whole situation tells me it is but a facade, a mask on darker dealings.
Yeah, something's rotten there. Something rotten.
Indeed.
So what do you think is going on today?
I don't know. At this point, by the way, all of the graphs and their immediate attendants have kind of filtered into the main building. So at this point, the yard where you're hanging out is all just full of the lesser hanger-ons who still notable folk, it would seem, amongst them. But clearly whatever is happening in the main hall is happening in the main hall. Yes, I don't know. It's we will see what the Emperor says, I suppose.
Yeah. What's the best case here?
The best case?
Yeah.
I suppose that
What's the
the
best
rumors are
turn?
true, that he abdicates to Prince Wolfgang. The Emperor is not well, and it is rumored that he is not quite right in the head. And his son is young and capable. It's a wise choice.
Oh. So his son isn't ill.
No.
Or
You heard he was ill?
well, there was that whole treatise about mutants thing.
Yes. There are many strange rumors floating about. Many strange rumors. As you're having this conversation, suddenly there's a loud crash from inside the main building.
Of course.
There's a scream, and you hear a voice shout out, "The mutant lover is dead! All hail the wolf!" And then there's the
Nina's running.
clash of you can hear the clash of metal and metal from within. And it sounds like swords have been drawn, and there's fighting happening inside the Vauxhall.
I friggin' knew it. Oh, the
and
meeting's
just-
gonna be boring.
Chaos immediately erupts in the hall as everyone reaches for weapons and goes rushing towards the hall, where there's a group of Imperial Guard who their training takes over, and they scrum up and they try to defend the entrance, and this big knot of people clashes at the front of the doorway, and swords are drawn, and you can hear some actual fighting going on. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Oh my
Of course, the meeting's not going to be boring, Mina. We had no idea how to get in. We're like,
We could have sat there
Imagine if
for
we
12
just-
hours invisible. Perfect plan.
Imagine if we just decided not to go to the meeting. Like, we were like, yeah, that sounds like it sucks. Let's go do something else.
Could have.
Oh, really?
Lots of exciting things to do in Altdorf.
There's also the suggestion, I'll
murdered by
remind you, of crawling on the ceiling and just killing the new wolf guy. But nobody wants to support the burgeoning vampire. It's fine.
You were right.
We support
you. Were right.
Yes,
Put
he
it
was
in
right.
the-
I was
Oh
also
my
right.
Put it in the record.
We're
Yes,
all-
he was
we were all
right.
right.
We should have killed Ulrich.
Well, I know. We were all right, and still felt
We're
like
all
we were
of
like,
us correct.
what do we
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
No, and then where's Bruno?
Where
Usually
is
she'll be like,
Bruno?
"Bye."
We will
Bruno when you
find
get
out.
out?
We will find out at the start of next session what happened.
Oh
Better
my
to
be
Bruno.
in that room.
The longer it goes without him being in my direct sight line, the worse I assume it's about to
As it turns out, that guy is actually a pen name for the Emperor's son, who's just really into mutants.
Oh my
As Bruno's getting over him with a knife. Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be.
Excellent.
Making a note, Paul.
I mean, when good ideas are floated up, I gotta write them down just in case. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Come join us next week for you find out what excitement is happening in the Vauxhall. See you then on 10 Dead Rats. Good night, everybody.
Good night.